I am Isabella of Gloucester, a name often forgotten in the shadow of England's history, but my story is entwined with the fate of a realm. Born in 1173, I was destined for a life that would seem gilded from the outside but was filled with turmoil and betrayal. Let me tell you of the years between 1199 and 1216, when my fate was bound to that of John, the youngest son of Henry II, who would become King of England. When I first wed John in 1189, I was little more than a pawn in a great game of alliances. I was the heir to the wealthy earldom of Gloucester, and John needed my lands and wealth to bolster his claim to power. Our union was one of politics, not love. John was ambitious and restless, while I was raised to duty and obedience. Yet, I believed that in time, we might find some harmony. How naive I was. When his brother Richard the Lionheart died in 1199, John seized the crown, and with it, my title as queen. But to my heartbreak, I was set aside. He declared our marriage invalid, citing consanguinity, a claim all too convenient. I was relegated to obscurity, my title stripped, and John remarried a young, beautiful Isabella of Angevin. She was his chosen queen, while I was cast away like a relic of his past. Though I was no longer queen, I remained Countess of Gloucester, and my lands were vital to John's reign. I was imprisoned, in a sense, not by chains, but by the boundaries of my estates. I had no voice, no agency. I watched from afar as John's reign spiraled into chaos, his disputes with the barons, his excommunication by the Pope, and the loss of Normandy, the very lands he once claimed were his birthright. The years were cruel, not just to me but to England itself. John's tyranny bred rebellion, and by 1215, his barons forced him to seal the Magna Carta. I heard whispers of it from my stewards, a document meant to curtail his power and protect the rights of his subjects. Yet, I doubted its lasting impact. John was a man who wielded power with a clenched fist, and he would not abide constraints. In my solitude, I turned to faith, finding solace in prayer and the quiet beauty of my lands. I thought often of the paths not taken, of a life where I might have been loved for myself, not my titles. Still, I bore my lot with dignity, for what else could I do? My position was precarious, my survival dependent on the whims of a man who had once vowed to cherish me. In 1216, John's turbulent reign came to an end with his death. His young son, Henry III, succeeded him, and with this new chapter, I hoped for peace, for England and for myself. Yet, I knew my story would remain untold, overshadowed by those with crowns and swords. I am Isabella of Gloucester, a forgotten queen, but not a forgotten woman. My life was not defined by the titles I held or lost, but by my endurance. In a world that sought to silence and sideline me, I persisted, bearing witness to an age of upheaval and change.